Another classic WoW Season of Discovery video. Today we're talking about investments. Now, for investments, this is how I have made most of my gold in Classic WoW. It is how I went from 100 gold to over 1000 gold back in 2019 without farming at all, just bought something, kept it for a month, and then sold it for way more profit. It's also how I've gone from 100,000 gold to over 2 million gold in Wrath, once again, barely without farming, like basically no farming. Just buying something, waiting, and then selling for massive profits. It is very risky, well, to a certain degree. The thing about Classic WoW is we always know, to a certain extent, what's coming in the next phase. So we can take a look at what we have coming in next phase and buy some of those things now. So it's a risk, it's always going to be a risk, but we can make very educated guesses on what will go up in price. Now, that's what I'm doing in this video. I'm going to be guessing on what I think is going up in price in phase 2 and telling you guys about those items. Now, once again, investments videos will be in early access to anyone who has purchased my gold making guide for Classic WoW, which there will be a link to down below. This is the ultimate Classic WoW gold making guide suitable for Classic Era, Classic Hardcore, and future seasons. For example, Season of Discovery, Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, and so on. It covers 50 different gold farms you can use all the way from level 10 to level 60, so you will have gold farms to do in every single phase. Additionally, we have a Discord server, which is where I'm uploading or talking about more gold making stuff, and it's where I'll give you early access to videos like this one, and we even have a trick to reset BFD, for example. That one's in that Discord as well. So if you want to check these videos out early, investments early, or just gold making early, then that's the place to be, and you can check it out down below. And if you do, thank you so much for the support. Either way, let's talk about investments. So the first thing and very obvious thing to consider for investments is that when phase 2 comes out, professions will be unlocked one more step, and I would say professions are probably going to be capped at 225 in phase 2. We had the 150 cap in phase 1, 225 makes sense for phase 2, and then 300 for phase 3. This means it will open up more professional crafts and people want to skill up those professions. So in this video, I will show you the actual stuff that I'm buying for the professions as well, as we can go to Wowhead and look at their leveling up guide, as you can see right here. For Alchemy, we have lesser mana potions, greater healing potions, elixirs of agility, defense, and healing potions. Now, there are way more crafts you can do, but people tend to follow Wowhead's guides when it comes to leveling up. And also, you can get a clear example of what to buy from these. So for example, Mage Royale can be very good in the start, even though lesser mana potions, they're already selling well. But greater healing potions, Life Root and King's Blood, Strangle Kelp and Goldthorn, Wild Steel Bloom and Goldthorn. So as you can see, if you just buy things now, you can already go all the way up to 215. You can buy the Wild Steel Bloom now, you can buy Goldthorn now, you can buy Strangle Kelp now, and you can buy King's Blood now as well. I even believe you might be able to buy Life Root. So if you just buy things ahead of time, you can go all the way to 215 when phase 2 comes out and not have to worry about your profession. So my advice here, specific for Alchemy, is to buy these when they're as cheap as possible, which if you ask me is either going to be now or sometime during this week, maybe even like early next week or over the weekend. Basically, when most people have hit level 25, they have skilled up their professions, and the demand for all of these things are basically gone. Low demand, high supply equals very low price. Some of these are already very cheap, and Strangle Kelp, for example, has gone down from 12 silver to 7 silver on my auction house in the matter of 1.5 days. So if it goes down to 5 silver or less, then we're definitely talking, and you can get yourself some very cheap Strangle Kelp. And the same thing goes for King's Blood as well, and even Goldthorn. Like, at some point there will be a huge demand, a huge supply and very low demand, and that means the prices will go up. Now, what I will say, the best time to sell these is either going to be at the launch of phase 2 or the last 1 or 1.5 weeks before phase 2, as people start preparing. Because people can prepare now, but people usually wait. It's something I've seen before as well. You can buy something before a phase comes out, but very few tend to do before that phase gets announced or before the final week when they're like, oh, I should probably prepare a little bit, shouldn't I? And then suddenly the prices go up. So by buying them now, you can buy them very cheap and then sell them 1 week before the next phase comes. Because the thing is, many of these items, like for example Life Root, you will find all over the place in Stranglethorn Vale. Wild Steel Bloom as well, you will find way more of, and even Goldthorn. So when phase 2 comes out, supply will go up, but demand will go up as well. So even if you keep them for phase 2, I do believe in both inflation and demand will make it so prices do go up. But if you want to just capitalize on some easy gold, sell them 1 week before phase 2 and then rebuy them sometime early in phase 2 and sell them again a little bit later, because these have a pretty constant demand. Okay, that's only alchemy. We also have 2 in one go, which is blacksmithing and engineering. So let's take a look at these. If you look at blacksmithing, leveling from 125 to 225, pretty much you can go all the way to 190 or 200 by having bronze and iron bars. Now, bronze, iron and gold. All of these you can get right now. Iron is dirt cheap, so my advice here would be to stack up on iron bars. Iron ore, iron bars, they're so cheap right now. It's unbelievable how cheap they are. Well, on most servers anyway, they're like 4 to 5 silver. They've gone down to 3 silver as well for the ores, so very cheap, very cheap. You can get like a lot of them for a very low price, close to vendor price. So for me, the iron bar investments is very low risk and does have some potential upside. The only problem for the iron bars is they're so cheap that you have to start considering the gold you like the actual profit you make per bag space, because you will have to have so many alts to send these back and forth, or keep them in your mailbox until the next phase, or just have like 10-20 alts and send them bags and just stock them with iron bars. So yeah, you have to start considering the gold profit per bag space. That's where we are. Now, bronze bar as well, you will need 50 of those, and that's not just for blacksmithing, by the way, that's for engineering as well, which we'll talk about very soon. You also have coarse grinding stone and heavy grinding stone. So basically just invest into mining materials while they are cheap. At some point right now, they are very cheap. Iron bars already very cheap, and bronze bars as well, I do believe are still going down in price, and will probably go down even more when people don't need them anymore, because people do skill up engineering right now. So going over to Wowhead's engineering guide, you can see right here, there's a bunch, once again, up until 175, only bronze. Heavy stone, bronze bar, wool cloth, bronze bar, medium, wool, bronze, and heavy blasting powder. A bunch of bronze, basically, that you need. So bronze and iron bars, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with when it comes to professions. I will also say we are getting Nomer again as a raid in phase 2. I think there's going to be some epic engineering crafts. It just makes sense to me. Maybe an epic gun, maybe an epic head for everyone. Who knows? I think there's going to be some epic engineering stuff, which will also, like, if that happens and gets data mined, everyone's gonna go engineering, at which case engineering will sell for a lot, like the materials, and bronze in this case is one of those materials that people need early and need for a long time. Now, there are 2 more crafting professions to talk about here, and don't think I've forgotten, but we have leatherworking and tailoring. The only reason why I'm going to somewhat quickly skip over these is that the price of both silk and heavy leather is kind of high right now, plus supply will go up in phase 2, like at the launch, very fast as well. Compared to like mining, where you have to go out and find resources, silk drops from mobs, and skinning can be skinned from mobs, so heavy leather could be worth it if they go down way too much in price. As you can see, you can go all the way up to 220 with only heavy leather, so maybe even 225, so you can go all the way up with only heavy leather. So could be worth it if they go down close enough to vendor price, but for now they're worth so much on the auction house that for now I would just stay away, but maybe keep an eye out. And the same thing for tailoring, you can go a long way with silk, all the way up to 185 pretty much, and then you start making some mage weave. Actually, you still make silk, so you make silk after that as well, but you can make some mage weave in between. So tailors will need a lot of silk, but silk is already kind of expensive on the auction house, but if they keep going down in price, it might be worth keeping an eye out on the price and consider investing into those as well. So far we have only talked about leveling up professions, but that is a massive part of phase 2, and it's where you can capitalize on a lot of easy gold from investing. Now, with those covered, there's a couple more to talk about. Now, once again, I'm going to delve a little bit more into professions, so if you go to Atlas Loot right now, we can see some crafts. Now, for this one, I will mostly talk about, actually only talk about, Alchemy for now, so let's talk about Alchemy. Over for Alchemy, you will get access to a lot more utility potions, and a lot more like potions in general, and more potions will be viable and usable, and just like kind of required as well. For example, free action potions in PvP, they can be used like at 150, 175 and all the way up. These require Blackmouth Oil and Strangle Kelp to be used, and I would assume both the price of Blackmouth Oil and Strangle Kelp will go up quite a bit. We have the new PvP event coming, maybe there's some stun effects or something in the raid as well, right? Plus, just due to inflation, those two are very, very easy investments. Once again, Strangle Kelp has been going down in price quite a lot recently, and Blackmouth Oil should be doing the same. So those two could give you some very, very easy gold. You also have Lesser Invis Potion. If that ever becomes available for like raids and stuff, this can be used as well, Fade Leaf and Wild Steel Bloom, to give you a lesser invisibility for PvP in massive PvP events. This is huge. Imagine you can have a mage go behind enemy lines in Invis, use Frost Nova on every single one, and then you just blast them down, right? This will make for so much fun in PvP when everyone can use this to get 15 seconds of lesser invisibility, and I think it's gonna create like a PvP meta for the kind of the big battle, right? Not Ashen Vale's battle, but the new Ashen Vale, if that makes sense. We also have some stat elixirs and stuff to take a look at as well. So for example, we have the elixir of agility. In this case, 15 agility, requires Strangle Kelp and Goldthorn, both of which we already have access to, and once again, like I've been saying, Strangle Kelp has been going down in price. And those are pretty much all the elixirs we're getting. We have some protection elixirs that are worth covering very fast. So we saw Shadow Protection Potions making a big play in BFD, mostly on the 6th boss. Now, what if we get something like that in Nomer? The only boss I can think about right now that would require some type of protection is the first boss, or the water elemental, right? The water elemental is kind of in a toxic sludge area, a bunch of nature stuff happening there, like poisons and stuff. What if, for the raid itself, they tune this up to deal even more nature damage, and you want to bring a nature protection potion? Well, we can use those now, we can craft those, and once again, Life Root and Strangle Kelp. So for Alchemy, there is one common nominator coming back and back and back, which is Strangle Kelp, which means Strangle Kelp might be going up in price quite significantly later down the line. Now, for special elixirs, if I can just find the one that I was looking at earlier, there's a couple of little elixirs as well that you can make and probably make some extra gold with. And that is, for example, here, utility potions once again. If you make great rage potions, warriors are doing well now in phase 1. I think they will be doing even better in phase 2. What if you make some great rage potions? These only requires Large Fang and King's Blood, both of which are very cheap right now, and then you can make a great rage potion for warriors, increasing rage by 30 to 60, providing even more DPS output for warriors. So to give you an idea of the pricing here, Strangle Kelp was 11 silver about 2.5 days ago, and it's down to 6.7 now. So it could be worth monitoring if it goes down even further. Once again, these are just my service prices, so it might be worth monitoring the price and seeing if it goes down. If it does go down, buy them. And if you see a shift in the trend where it starts going up in price, maybe buy before it goes up too far. And for iron ore / iron bar, you can see the price of those as well. It's 3.5 silver for iron ore, and they're selling for 1.5, so you're paying 3 times the vendor value, which means that you will always get 33% of your investment back just by vendoring this item. Or you can make it into iron bars and sell that as well, right? So you can see the price of iron bars, 4.2 silver in this case, and they vendor for 2, so you almost get half your investment back in that case, just by literally buying them now and hoping they go up in price. 4 silver for an iron bar just seems absolutely absurd to me, especially considering how many people want them for both engineering and blacksmithing. Now, that's not all the investments. There's a couple more. There's at least 2 more I want to talk about. Number 1, elemental water. This one has gone up quite a lot in price. It used to be 4 silver each. I think someone has tried to reset the price on this one, so monitor the price of this item, see if it goes down. 35 silver is way too much, nobody's going to pay that right now, and somebody has literally just reset the price. So buy the elemental waters, they're dropping from herbalism, and as you can see, the auction house price yesterday was 5 silver. The vendor price is 4, so you make basically all your money back by vendoring anyway if you get them that cheap, and they should be around 5 to 6 silver on most servers right now. You also have elemental earth, which is dropping from certain herbs. I think Wild Steel Bloom drops it quite often, so elemental earth can be worth picking up. Once again, don't pick it up for 30 silver. It's, well, actually you could, but I think it's worth way less. Once again, I think someone has reset the price on my market. I'm up somewhat early, it's 11 AM, but yeah, people usually reset the price in the morning on my server, and then the prices tend to go down. So elemental earth and elemental water, definitely worth keeping an eye out for when it comes to like investments here. The main things though are professions. Look at what's needed, and the thing is, seasonal discovery, we don't know everything. Some things are unknown, as always. We had the elixir of coalescent regret, right, for phase 1. Let me just search that one up for you. Elixir of coalescent regret. This is a brand new alchemy recipe required for the epic craft. So the biggest investment would be paying attention to data mining and just buying things that will be required for brand new runes, epic crafts, or whatever, right? So you want to be on your toes and buy those when you know about them. That being said, the actual data mining plus like new things in phase 2, there's nothing you can really do right now except for theory craft for yourself and just hope. So once again, massive risk in that one, but the investments we know about right now are mostly tied to professions and elemental water and elemental earth. Pretty long video, but I wanted to go in depth on every single one, like every single item in this case, and talk about why they're worth buying and give my thoughts. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Once again, if you want to make a gold, I will do my best to help you, both on videos and in my gold guide and on that Discord server. So if you are interested in making as much gold as possible and support me a bit, check it out. The link is down below. You get a hefty guide, Discord server, and early access. I think it's a lot of value in one product. So thank you so much for watching as always. Leave a like, leave a sub, and I'll see you again in the next one. Peace out.